Hey everyone, this is Panos with Super Sly Fox, and we're super excited to kick things off with this devlog, where we're gonna deep dive into the construction system we have in place. And I just want to say, as a disclaimer, obviously this is an early alpha build, that's why a lot of things are gonna look rough. But the thing is, the backend code is already pretty much done. So what we're doing right now is adding content, gameplay stuff, and pretty much polishing the UX and UI, as well as adding visual effects and everything like that. So let's go ahead and start things off by purchasing this, you know, load space, and let's go on our build mode. Just gonna have like all the tools, finance stuff, and pretty much all the options that you're gonna need. And right now I'm just gonna add like a few funds there so we can do anything we want. And let's go and pick the wall tool, which is our first basic tool. And the way this works is pretty much you have like this indicator right here, and whenever you click, it's just gonna add points to the map, so you can move it towards any direction. And of course it's gonna show you exactly how many tiles you're using right now with this indicator right there. And it even has decimals for the diagonal parts, so just click and make this very simple square. So the thing is, in this game, when you enclose a space, it's going to recognize it as a room. And what a room does pretty much is it functions the same way as, for example, in The Sims 4, where you can just drag the walls and restructure the buildings like this way, which is really fast and really cool. And the reason why we did this, even though it's more complex, is because it obviously helps the players move and do things faster. And having intuitive mechanics is what we're all about. So here's our first building. Let's actually make it smaller again. There we go. So the next tool we have is just like a box shaped wall tool, pretty much. We also call it like a room tool. So the same way, you can either like completely drag this from the start or just click and drag. It's the same thing. And you can create all sorts of shapes. Obviously, inside the building, you're also gonna have like the exact dimensions and the costs. So that's also helpful. And let's just cancel this and make this kind of like a rectangular tool right here. Click. Now we have two rooms. And what you see here, this little thing, this is a bubble where you click it, it's just going to show you the room types that we have implemented for now. And then it just like minimizes when this room is not selected. So we're not going to talk about this stuff right now, but in future reference, it's going to be pretty cool to also explain how this works, maybe later part of this video. Let's just say like we want to destroy one of these rooms. So we have two options. First of all, we can always like demolish the whole lot, which we're going to demonstrate later on in this video. But we're going to use like our classic sledgehammer tool. And the way this works is you just either click one of these walls and then it destroys. And since this is not an enclosed space anymore, it is not even considered a room by the game. Let's just take a step back by pressing Ctrl Z. And of course you can undo pretty much everything in this game, also redo it. We have a lot of steps added, so pretty much right now there is no cap on how many steps you can take back. But at the same time, I don't think any player actually would want to take more than 50 to 60 steps. So having that in mind, okay, let's go back to the sledgehammer tool. You can either click like one of these, or you can hold shift and it's going to destroy all the walls that are connected to this place that you picked. That also destroys the room. Or you can like click and drag, and then you can have like this selection. By the way, this also works as a marquee tool. So you can kind of like, select all these parts at the same time. And with right click, of course, you just cancel the action you're about to take, as with every tool. And we already covered kind of like the undo steps and redo steps. So let's talk about like a very important thing, a very cool thing, which is the clone tool. And the clone tool also works as a marquee selection tool. And it grabs the space and clones pretty much everything that it touches in that space, whether it's a wall or an object. Actually, let's test it with an object so you guys can see it in action. Let's go ahead and you have to kind of like pick the type of the room first. Let's go with the production office. And here you're gonna have like a list of all the minimum requirements. So let's just choose a large bookshelf and let's place it. which is, by the way, this is actually pretty cool because it's just gonna give you all the options that you need right away instead of you having to like look at them manually in the filter box or like the options. So let's just like place all this here so you can see. And by clicking right click, obviously it rotates the items and it's going to show you exactly where they're placed with the space that they cover in front. Sometimes they will be blocking each other. And let's just like add this random chairs right here and notice board, and also let's zoom in the school desk, which, by the way, here's a cool info. Every room, especially offices, are going to have like a dedicated desk graphic, which is going to change through time as with every object. So in every decade of the game, this stuff will also be updating, and you're going to have to either automatically update them when the notification pops, or you're going to have to manually upgrade them later on. It's pretty much up to you. So now you see this error message disappear from the room. Everything is working. This producer office room is functional. And let's actually let's destroy this building. Boom. And let's say we want to clone this. The way this works is, again, we mark and select everything, and you can see the indication that everything is properly selected. And we'll just click again, and boom, you have this right here. Obviously, it's going to show you where it overlaps completely. And then we click here, we have another two. So what you're going to see here, this is an empty room right now, and you can reassign this, which is going to like invalidate some of the objects in here, but we can always fix this stuff, and you can do it manually. It doesn't matter right now. So let's just make something a bit more complex again. And right now we're going to showcase you all the available options. So if you drag like even buildings inside of buildings, the game is going to automatically create all these rooms by itself. And the cool thing is you can just kind of like play around with the walls and create all these shapes that you want. You don't have to worry about mistakes. Honestly, you just play around with the game and you're going to figure it out. So make this room a bit bigger. Then let's just say like this is also like this, and if you don't need this, you can destroy it again, or hold shift and it's going to destroy this. And maybe we don't like this tiny room right here, so we're just going to drag it like this way, and now you have like two rooms. So pretty much these are the very basic functions of the game right now, and let's just go ahead and show you what you can also do. Obviously you can have like these cool doors, and then you have your windows and posters and everything, which, by the way, they have their own dedicated space, so you cannot like place them anywhere exactly you wish. If like objects are pretty much on top of them, or like over them, or in front of them. Something different. So it kind of like works the same with adding textures to the walls and just like changing the colors and everything. So you can either manually just place one by one, or you can like hold shift and it's gonna select the whole room with that. So that's also pretty good and fast tool. So this, it also does this, it shows you exactly all the space that it's gonna like surround. So that's pretty neat. And the same with the floors, so we don't have the textures here. You can just kind of like do the same thing. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Let's go ahead and fast build everything, and then we're gonna like demolish everything. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Right, so you can see kind of like all the possibilities and things you can do. It's pretty fast, guys. Yeah, I would say this is one of the most in-depth systems we have created currently for the game, and a lot of times I felt dissatisfied with some of the things when I was experiencing them as a gamer. So we want to make sure that everything is covered, and of course with your feedback it's going to be even more polished by the time this is released. So this is just kind of like a preview, one of the core mechanics of the game, and we would love to hear more from you. We obviously want to encourage the engagement of the community. So any tips, any advice, any ideas you might have, please join our Discord group. We're going to leave a link to the description. And of course, if you like it, if you like our work, follow us there, subscribe to the YouTube channel, maybe like the video, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a nice one.